And we're live. Hey everyone, happy Monday. Thank you for joining me live, or if you're watching after this has gone live, thank you for clicking on this video. I can't believe it's Monday again and another week has passed. It's absolutely nuts how close we are to the end of the year. I don't know how this is happening, but here we are. Today is exciting, as it always is with any Palantir conversation. We've got some analyst ratings that we need to go through. Some of these are good ratings, some of them are not so good ratings. So we need to discuss them, see what they have to say, why they are saying their different price targets and whether they want to buy or sell the stock and what we think of that. Then after that, we need to talk about a new link that I found. I found this link on Saturday and it's a big UK company that I think may end up working with Palantir. This is all speculation, of course, but we'll have a look at what they said and why I think it links to Palantir and just the general implications of that too. Then we're going to talk about some stock catalysts for Palantir. I made a video about this very recently, but there was also a section in one of the price target analyst ratings section discussion points about catalysts. So I want to talk about those ones and also which other ones I see coming up for Palantir too and get your opinion. And then, of course, we will end by looking at what Palantir stock is doing pre-market and we can just have a chat as well. Any other topics that you want to talk about. So whilst I talk about the price predictions and the different analyst ratings I've seen come out over the last X amount of days, I want to know, if you want to share, of course, what your investing goals and targets are as we move towards the end of 2023 and beginning of 2024. Because a lot of people start thinking about what they've achieved in terms of life and investing during this period of time and what they want to achieve in the new year. So this can be personal finance, investing, portfolio management, wealth strategies, whatever it is, let me know. If you're watching this after the fact that it's gone live, again, let me know in the comments. If you're watching it live, let me know in the live chat and we can talk about some of those at the end of this video as well. So let's jump straight into it. So the first analyst that has given their opinion, the first company, is Bank of America. Now, Bank of America have spoken about Palantir a number of different times now, and they have an analyst called Mariana. And she is particularly great for us retail investors because she is one of the people that has been really bullish and really understood Palantir when everyone else was saying that Palantir is just a hype stock, an AI imposter, just a consultancy firm. But she's actually gone about it a completely different way. She's done her own analysis. She's looked into what Palantir do. She's thought about the implications of this company on the larger market in the future. And I think that she's been, well, I obviously agree with a lot of things that she says, being bullish on Palantir myself, but I think that it's quite refreshing to see an analyst actually look at this in a different way. So a month or two ago, Bank of America published a price target, a rating for Palantir. Mariana was one of the people that was involved in that. And that was basically a document that spoke about the price target that they're giving Palantir and the reasons why. So it spoke about the catalyst coming up for the company, what's already been achieved, earnings, and the macroeconomic market and how that plays into what Palantir are doing now and what they'll do in the future. It was a very, very good analysis. So that came out a while ago. However, they have just reiterated their price target. So let's take a look at what they have to say. So here it is. Palantir Chad over on X has done a fantastic job of summarizing this. So we're going to have a look what they've said. So Bank of America securities analyst Mariana, so this is the one that I was just telling you about, has reiterated a buy rating and a $21 per share price target on Palantir. So firstly, let me know in the live chat or the comments, just at a very, very overview level, very top line level, what do you think of this? What do you think of a buy rating and a $21 per share price target on Palantir? Bearing in mind that at the moment, this is like a yearly price target. At the moment in pre-market, Palantir today, $19.17, but we'll come back to this in just a second. So This is the reasonings. This is what she had to say, her and I think a few other analysts as well, about why they are thinking that Palantir should be a buy, reiterating it as a buy, and why they are putting the price target of $21 per share on this. So we positively view Palantir's partnering in non-core areas and think this both supports top-line growth and stickiness as services names get familiar with building software-driven solutions on top of Palantir's platforms, and then B, stronger software-like margins. So the first thing, this bit here about stickiness. This is really important for us retail investors holding Palantir stock, and obviously for Palantir as the company, because this means that when companies take on Palantir solutions, Palantir software, they integrate it into their company, it firstly provides value, we hope, we believe, and they won't want to get rid of it because of that. But also, it's very sticky, meaning it's really difficult to actually segregate yourself back away from Palantir solutions, Palantir software. Because of that, this means actually businesses work with Palantir for a long, long time. And what does this mean? This means recurring revenue, customer retention. These are all things that are really, really important for the future of Palantir. And then we, top line growth, obviously great. And here as well, stronger software-like margins. Software-like margins means higher margins. That's obviously good. More money for Palantir, more money for us investors. It all helps grow the business. And of course, we want to see that recurring revenue. We want to see them high margins. With a business that is producing software as their main product, and thinking about Palantir in particular, they do have outgoing costs. Of course they do. They're going to be paying resources to run these AIP boot camps. They're going to be reinvested into themselves and developing the software further. However, unlike a company that produces a physical product, let's say a car, a phone, whatever it may be, it's going to have better margins than that because it's software-like margins. And then they go on to say, with NHS awards over, which obviously was a fantastic success for Palantir, it's being portrayed as quite a negative thing still here in the UK. I'm seeing loads of articles even now about they were the wrong company, we must do this, we must do that, what it means. Lots of misinformation, like I keep saying, going around. I've seen particularly bad ones on X and on TikTok. Luckily, X now has that community note feature. I don't really understand what that does, but it seems to stop the misinformation. But yeah, a massive, massive success for Palantir was the NHS contract. Now that's in the bag. That's good. We need to look to the future. What are the next catalysts? So Bank of America have said that the catalysts to look for are the Q4 S&P 500 rebalance to be announced December the 1st. Obviously, we know that Palantir are now eligible for that S&P 500 inclusion. That's great. That means that institutional money and ownership will come flowing in to Palantir. Again, fantastic. However, people are a little bit confused as to when this will happen. We obviously want it to happen as soon as possible because of all the implications of it happening and what it means for the stock and for the company. But it may not happen as soon as we're expecting. It definitely didn't happen as soon as it was announced they were eligible. We knew that. We knew we'd have to wait. December the 1st is a date that's being thrown around quite a lot because of that. That's the date that the rebalancing of the S&P 500 happens. However, what they've said here is, according to our discussion with industry experts, other large cap names also eligible for S&P inclusion, like Uber, are more likely to be chosen this time around. So it could be that December the 1st rolls around, which is in a few days. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And actually, Palantir don't get included in the S&P 500 that time around. And we may need to wait until the next date that the S&P is rebalanced. Be patient with this one, guys. It's happening. We know we're eligible. It's just a case of when it will happen now. When, not if, I guess is the point here. And the likes of Uber, other massive companies may actually get included this time round, and we may have to wait. Let me know if you have Uber in your portfolio. It's not a company I've ever added. It's not a company I'm looking to add, but yeah, I'd be interested if you've got Uber in your own portfolio or if you see potential there. Little tangent here. I'm reading a book at the moment called Diary. It's the Diary of a CEO's book, The 33 Laws of Business and Life, I want to say. Very, very good book. I'm about just under halfway in now. I'm taking my time with it. Loads of valuable lessons. The reasons that I'm telling you that is because he spent some time talking about Uber's marketing strategies in that book and like the psychology of people when it comes to marketing. And Uber's one that actually uses so much smart marketing that you would never even have thought of. So give that a read if you're interested. But anyway, number 2, second catalyst, Titan down select expected Q4 2023 with strengthening competitive dynamics after Northrop Grumman joining Palantir's team. So let me go over to this. If you don't know, by the way, Project Titan is basically the US military, the US Army wanting to modernize the way that they deal with data. What they basically want to do. Is it still sharing my screen? Yes, it is. Okay. What they want to do is modernize the way that the US government, the US Army and military operate on the battlefield. They want to make it more modern. They want to be able to integrate and analyze data from various different sources, various different sensors that they have, all into one place. The point of that is to enhance situational awareness and decision making better and more effective on the battlefield. So that's very high level stuff. This is a massive project, and it ties into lots of different things that is going on. It's not just one simple project, Project Titan. It ties into loads of different initiatives. This has been going on for quite a while. Recently, under Project Titan, they gave $36 million to Palantir and $36 million to Raytheon, 2 separate companies, to come up with a prototype. At the moment, as far as I understand, the soldiers on the ground, the people in charge as well, are testing this. They're testing the 2 prototypes. And then the idea is that they will decide who they'll go with. It could be, and it's very likely, to not be given 100% to Palantir. It could be that actually a joint partnership is formed between Raytheon, Palantir, whoever else are involved, but that would still be a success because this is a massive deal. This is a ginormous potential contract worth a lot of money for Palantir, regardless really if they get it in its entirety or they have to split this and they work with others to make this happen. It's looking good, but the decision is coming in Q4 2023. Just like the analyst here said. So keep your eyes out for that. It's not spoken about that much. I think it falls under the radar because it's been going on for so long and it's sort of just in the background doing its thing. But that could be absolutely massive. Like the NHS contract, very, very big deal in terms of money, in terms of them being given the responsibility to do this. Palantir working with the US military, it would be a really, really big deal. Obviously, they work with the Department of Defense and lots of defense organizations already. But yeah, that would be a massive deal. In terms of, so this analyst has talked about these catalysts. Now, I think there are some other catalysts that need to be considered. So we've got the S&P 500 inclusion. We've got Project Titan. Both are expected before the end of the year, potentially, but S&P might run over into next year. That's okay. Q4 earnings. They are coming up, I believe, in February 2024. Don't quote me on that. I think the Q4s are in February for Palantir. Maybe like the second week. I don't know, but check that out. Very, very soon. Anyway, earnings are obviously always a massive deal. It gives us investors an insight into what has been happening in the business. It gives us insight into, are they having revenue growth? How we're going to be looking for them to obviously beat guidance. We're going to be looking for AIP growth. We're going to be looking for maybe some more information about how the boot camps have been going and possibly even monetization What are they going to do about monetization of AIP? I made a video about this. It came out on Saturday. Please watch that if you haven't already and let me know what you think about that video and your thoughts in the comments on that video. I thought that was quite an interesting one. So do let me know if you liked it. We're looking for information on client growth, both commercial and government client growth. And of course, we just want to hear more about other initiatives like FedStart and so on. So Q4 earnings is definitely a catalyst. Obviously, these happen 4 times a year. So it's not such a big deal like maybe the NHS contract is because they're more frequent, but still a catalyst that we shouldn't understate, because I think if they beat guidance again and they do as well as they did in Q3 and the business looks to continue to be growing or even having faster growth, that would be very, very bullish for us investors. Sort of linked to that is another catalyst that could just be AIP. AIP bootcamp acceleration. Are they doing more? Are they getting more people actually on board and utilizing AIP in their business? And what does that mean for upsell of other Palantir products? Are they showing that they're able to actually convert people to get Foundry? Because you can have, as far as I understand, you can have AIP in your business as a standalone product. But most businesses don't have the ontology and the architecture in place to actually utilize AIP to its fullest potential. This means that they can upsell Foundry. Some information on that would be nice. We've got the $1 billion buyback scheme, which is another potential catalyst. We have got any new products and initiatives that could happen. We don't obviously know that yet, but I imagine a company like Palantir in its early growth, reinvesting money back into the business, we are probably going to see more developments, bettering of the products that they already have, and also new initiatives and new products moving forward. So there's a lot to be excited about with this company. There's been a lot of insider selling recently. We won't talk about that in this video, but that's been freaking a lot of people out. I'm personally not concerned about it. I think it's absolutely normal. I think that there's been such a stock run up that people are just taking their profits. People are managing their own finances, maybe tax implications. So I'm not really too concerned about that, honestly. But let's just have a look at how so there's the Bank of America. Let me pull my screen back up here. Here we go. So we've got the Bank of America price targets, but we've also got some other interesting ones that are not so good. So let's have a look at this one here. Gonna just, hopefully you can see that okay. Let me just zoom in ever so slightly. William Blair, analyst Louis, notes that Palantir shares reversed after the United Kingdom National Health Service, NHS, announced in a press release that it is awarding a contract of 7 years with up to £330 million investment in the FDP and associated services to a group led by Palantir with support from these other companies that we know about already. The contract value in this morning's press release appears, and we quote, to be significantly less. So we weren't expecting £330 million necessarily. We were more thinking that it would be 480 million. We've spoken about this on recent videos. It was a little bit lower than we expected, but maybe we shouldn't have been expecting what we were expecting. Maybe that was just the mass media putting out the highest figure that they had, information on. Also, we weren't really aware that there would be multiple companies. We were just thinking that it would be Palantir, one other company partnering, and that would be it. Didn't happen. We got more information that it was involving a lot of other companies. We are still waiting on what the split's going to be and how that's going to look. But yeah, a lot of analysts are now issuing lower price targets and ratings because of this, because it wasn't quite that amazing contract that people had thought about. To me, it is still that amazing contract. It means so much more than just the money. So yeah, indicated 480 million over 70, says the analyst, who thinks the total contract value may still be 480 million when options are included. In addition, Palantir has, quote, more partners than previously disclosed sharing the economics. So William Blair has an underperform rating on Palantir's shares. So by the sounds of it, for me, they are not happy with how many companies are potentially sharing the money with Palantir, and that's why they're downgrading it. Then we've got this one here. So in a report released today, Brad from here. Can you guys see this? Yes, you can. So a price target of $11 per share. So we've seen $21 per share, and we've seen $5 per share, and now we're seeing $11 per share. So issued a sell rating based on a couple of factors. The first one is the NHS FDP contract. Even though this contract is substantial, new business for Palantir, the financial value for the contract was lower than what was initially speculated. If it was speculated, how can we be that annoyed? Anyway, which caused disappointment amongst investors and led to the stock trading down. We did see that. It did happen. I think I was even concerned at first, like, why are there so many other companies? Why is it less than I thought? But when you take some time to reflect, it's absolutely fine. Another concern was the division of the contract work with multiple partners. Again, that Palantir isn't getting all the money. Furthermore, when analysing the potential earnings from the contract, it was found that it would only result in a 2% boost relative to Palantir's estimated revenue for calendar year 2023, a figure that is not considered significant. The money is one thing. Everything else, the implications of this contract for Palantir's future, is the most important. Also expressed concerns about the company's ability to achieve necessary overall accelerations to justify its current revenue multiple when compared to the medium for high growth companies. So this led them to maintain a sell rating for Palantir stock. And this here is the other one that I was saying about. RBC Capital have maintained their sell rating on Palantir with a price target of $5 per share. Let's talk about this. So we've got $21 per share, we've got $11 per share, and $5 per share. Those numbers are very, very, very different from each other. So I think this tells us a few different things. Firstly, just how to approach analysts' buy and sell ratings. Obviously, it's very insightful and it can give us valuable information to see what different analysts around the world are thinking about, how they're thinking about Palantir, what their insights are into the stock's potential performances. However, I think that we must limit how much we take these into account, because obviously they are inherently very subjective. Those three different price targets there are incredibly different from each other. So I think the important thing to do is to actually read and look into why those analysts are putting the price target that they are and the rating that they are on the stock. If their primary reason for downgrading to a $5 price target is because Palantir have been awarded a $330 million instead of a $480 and they have to share it with different people, you may agree or disagree with that. You may think that actually the value of the contract is way more than just the money, or you may agree. But I think it's important to actually look at why they're saying what they're saying and then make the judgment, because there's been so many times where retail investors have actually been able to jump on an opportunity because a massive company has come out and downgraded a stock that actually doesn't make sense as to why they've downgraded it, and that's caused the stock price to fall. So an opportunity for some investors there, maybe, if it moves the stock by a significant amount. So then we have got, so we've looked at those two. We looked at this, didn't we? I think. So this section here at the bottom is about the Project Titan. So you can see here the idea, let me just reframe here quickly. So the Bank of America analyst has said that the strengthening competitive dynamics after Northrop Grumman had joined Palantir's team. And then we saw this article. This is quite an old article, but it explains this in a little bit more detail, saying that so there's a prototype being built, Titan ground stations focused on space capabilities. The senior Palantir engineer involved with the program said that it will be integrated into the program towards the end of the second phase. So Project Titan, like I keep saying, keep an eye out on that. Don't let it go under your radar too much. It's coming, it's happening. Then we have to talk about this. So I'm going to share a tweet that I actually produced on this because I think it does a little bit, it's more concise than what I would be doing right now. So I've basically, on Saturday morning, before I enjoyed my Saturday, I was doing a little bit of research because I'm obviously a nerd and I like Palantir a lot. And I was just having a look into how different companies are integrating AI into their business and what it could mean for Palantir. Anyway, I came across this article that we'll look at in just a minute. But this article is about Unilever and how Unilever are going to be starting to open up their own labs dedicated to AI, where employees will optimize data and insights as well as exploring trends. Okay, so let's just actually have a look. What I basically thought when reading this, and we'll look together in just a second, is there potential that Palantir may actually be working with Unilever behind the scenes? And it's speculation, right? It's complete speculation. Even if they're not, what this highlights is that companies that maybe you don't think of as the biggest growth companies, the ones that are taking AI seriously, they are all getting involved now. They are all opening up to how important integrating AI is to have a business competitive edge. It's really happening. The AI adoption is happening. So let's have a look what this article is. So I will leave it on the screen so you can actually read it if you want to read the whole article. But I'm going to point out the most important things here. So the goal of the lab, this AI lab that Unilever are going to be doing, is to generate new concepts, designs, and projects that can be scaled and shared across the business globally. AI, as you know, is moving at such a pace that it is important to the business that we enable our teams to not only look at the current uses of AI, but also future business cases. So Unilever's Horizon 3 labs represent an increase in technology investment that grew out of the company's focus to use AI to increase productivity and efficiency. So this next bit, currently Unilever is using this technology across its business, including generative AI in its customer servicing, marketing, and advanced analytics and machine learning in supply chain and logistics. I forgot a section here as well. The new lab will focus on its graph database applications, which will make sense of much of the company's data. So those things there about it helping with AI, helping with customer service, marketing, advanced analytics and machines in supply chain and logistics, making sense of companies' data. Those are all things that Palantir has shown that they can be valuable within. So I was thinking maybe Unilever are actually already utilizing some of Palantir's maybe AIP, maybe Foundry, maybe both. That's interesting. But even if they're not, even if this is their own initiatives, they're looking into AI in-house and it's not anything to do with Palantir, it still shows you that all of these companies, even Unilever and consumer good companies, are taking AI very seriously. And that means that those companies that are most valuable in that space, real world use cases, can change a business top line, can change the logistics of the business, the supply chain, customer service, making that way more efficient, getting more customers seen quicker, getting their questions answered. Which companies are businesses going to turn to? I think that Palantir is going to be one of the main ones. So very interesting there. Let me know what you think about that. And let me know if you've heard about any other companies integrating AI or even working with Palantir. So before we jump over, I'm aware that I'm slightly, I've rambled a long time today. So let's just have a look at Palantir stock and then we'll have a look at the live chat because that's always my favorite part. So here we are. Pre-market, $19.17 per share. If we zoom out 5 days, we've been down a little bit after that NHS announcement. I think a lot of people were taking profit off the table. Maybe some people weren't very happy about the splitting of the contract with multiple people. We've covered that. We know what we think about that, or what I think about that anyway. But even if it's been down a little bit, look at this. Year to date, 200%. Year to date, 200%. There's a few companies right now that have had fantastic year to dates. Palantir, Tesla, there's companies, but this is really, really strong. This won't happen forever. It doesn't just carry on doing 200% every single year. Of course it doesn't. But like Oscar has said here, I've just seen this comment, when in doubt, look out. Or when in doubt, zoom out, because this might look scary if you find that, if you have fear when you see that. But if you then just zoom out, you start seeing that all these dips, all these times that it's dropped by a significant amount, nearly 24% there, what happens after? Well, providing it is a very intrinsically strong and valuable company and there are lots of growth prospects for the company, over time, stock goes up. Separate stock and company value. Focus on the company and just accept that the stock will do what it does day to day. Overall, it should go up if it's a valuable company. Okay. We have got a lot of people that I recognize that come to these lives and comment on my videos. So thank you. No, I don't think they've started the buybacks yet. We'll have to wait for information. But as far as I'm aware, no. Remember, though, on the buybacks, the $1 million buybacks, it's very flexible. They don't have to do them and they don't have to do a certain amount of them by a certain date. It's completely open to them to make their mind up. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. BEM96, I want to make sure I've not got too much duplication in my portfolio. Yeah, I think that's a problem that I had, and I'm still making sure that all the time. When you start investing, I think you just add loads of different ETFs and stocks, and then you realize over time that actually you may have duplications. And for some people, that diversification and duplication is okay. But I didn't want that myself because I didn't want to be paying this fee to this ETF, this fee to this ETF, buying this stock. And actually, I could simplify it. And I think if you simplify your portfolio, you've got more visibility on what's happening, and especially if you hold individual stocks as well. So I think that's a great, great aim. Sir Lallington is in the house. $21 by Christmas, definitely doable. Well, we've been up there, haven't we now? So it is definitely doable. We'll have to see what happens. I think it's going to depend if we get any partnerships announced or anything like that could potentially push the stock up a little bit more. Factors that haven't already been baked in and predetermined into the stock price. We could definitely see a very high end for Palantir this year. But zoom out, like we keep saying. Think long term. Hello, caveman. Hello. Net dollar retention of US commercial, 150%. Government net dollar retention, 146%. I think I might do a video on the net dollar retention soon. Let me know your thoughts. US commercial customer count increased 4.7 times to 80 customers year over year. Government net retention, dollar net retention, 146. Cash from operations, 334 million. Great long-term play. Dark Star, I completely agree with you. Hello, Mickey. How are you doing? We've got some patrons on here. We've got some members. So hello. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, honestly, for supporting this channel. Drew, your price target is $500. Okay, you need to give us some dates for that. $500 by when? That will definitely change it. I was biomedical science. So I don't know, for US, would that be like a science major? Is that how you would say it? My degree's in biomedical science. We should have a Palantir group in London in the UK. Yes, I agree. If you're interested, we've got a Discord group. Lots of people in that Discord are from the UK and lots of Palantir investors. We talk about Palantir quite a lot. I share all of my thoughts when I'm buying Palantir and everything like that over there. If you want to come and join that, no pressure. But yes, absolutely. It's very, very fun to see the Palantir community in the UK growing. Thanks for tuning in from Australia. Tuesday, November the 28th there. So you're even closer to the end of the year. I haven't really thought about this one too much myself, so I'm going to leave this open if anyone else wants to potentially give their input into this. What do we think the average AIP contract will be? I imagine you are talking about money-wise, what it will be money-wise. I think it's going to really depend on the size of the company and everything like that. I don't think it's going to be just a one set fee. Thanks, Oscar, for joining. It's good to be in the community as well. It's such a fantastic community of Palantir and Tesla investors, and great, great, great. You've made a very, very good point here. I think I'm going to talk about this in the live stream tomorrow. But you're absolutely right. When you look at companies that we already know have made people financially free, like Tesla, for example, they have had periods of time, years, where they have seen extremely good gains, 200%, 300%, 92%, whatever it may be. And then they have had years where they've seen a negative return. The stock price has ended lower than it started at that year. That's okay. As long as overall it's doing very, very well, that's what we want. And of course, with these companies, you're never going to see them return in terms of stock price 200% every single year like Palantir have this year. It's not going to happen. It's been very nice for us Palantir investors this year, but of course there was a time when we were buying at the $7 range where it didn't feel too nice. So like we keep saying, zoom out, see the long-term potential, and work on your mindset in investing as the most important thing that you can do. But great companies like Palantir that are changing the world and hold long-term. Yeah, there's not many companies that are actually changing the world like I think Tesla and Palantir are doing, changing industries. One of the biggest reasons I like those two companies. Is Palantir working with Tesla? Not as far as I'm aware directly, but they have a link. Someone help me out here. There's a link between Palantir and Tesla in terms of a different company that Palantir work with that Tesla also works with. Oh my God, what's the name? I've gone completely blank. There is a link, Gino, I just can't remember, but not a direct link as far as I'm aware. So we're going to start wrapping this up in just a minute, but I'm obviously from the UK. Sir Lallington from Patreon is from the UK. Can't speak about anyone else, I'm afraid. 5 to 10 years, $500 per share price target for Palantir. That's what Drew's going for here. We've seen companies do that before. Like we were saying with Tesla, we've seen just a few years it's taken for just the stock price to go vertical and those returns to be insane. But a lot of the time before that, trading ever so slowly, sideways maybe, and then bam. These growth stocks do move that quick. So it's definitely not doable. Hey, Susan, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Panasonic. That's the link. I haven't had my lunch yet, so I'm a bit slow up here today, right now. Incredible. Congrats for doing that. That's an achievement. Carry on. Well, no financial advice here, but I'm sure that you're going to continue to hold. Yeah, patience is absolutely key. Absolutely key. We're going to have to see how this one pans out. Okay. People are a lot more clued up than me. On that note, guys, we're going to leave it there. I hope this was interesting to you. I hope you enjoyed this stream. I'm going to do them every day, Monday to Friday, Tomorrow, we're going to talk about, I think, to be confirmed, but it's going to be a Palantir based live stream. And we're going to talk about how, you need to zoom out, mindset and investing. We'll look at the Palantir returns. We'll look at price targets, Tesla stock and all things like that, I think, but to be confirmed. And yeah, let me know if you want any particular topics. Palantir, Tesla related mainly would be good because that's sort of where the channel's going, or just investing in general even. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will continue to try my best to be as valuable as possible and keep getting the videos out, keeping you guys up to date with the latest news. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you in a video maybe tonight, if not tomorrow in a live stream. Bye, guys.